Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over subtracting by regrouping with zeros. First example that we have is 60 minus 12. So we know that I cannot subtract 0 minus 2 in the ones place, so I'm going to borrow in the tens place. So this 6 is going to become a 5. This 0 is going to become a 10. So now I can subtract. I have 10 minus 2 is going to give me 8. And then we have 5 minus 1, that's going to give me 4. So your final answer is 48. Let's try 700 minus 25. 0 minus 5, we know that I can't do that. It's too small. The 0 is too small in the ones place, so I'm going to borrow from the tens place. But when I go to the tens place, it's still 0, so I can't borrow from the tens place. I'm going down to the hundreds place. This 7 is going to become a 6. This 0 is going to become a 10. But when I step back and I look at my problem, I am still stuck here in the ones place. I still do not have enough to subtract. So I'm going to go back to my tens place, make this 10 a 9. I'm going to make the 0 a 10. So now I can subtract. I have 6, 9, and 10 up top. I can definitely subtract now. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7, and then 6 minus 0 is going to be 6. So your final answer is 675. Let's try 100 minus 92. Okay, so we know we can't subtract 0 minus 2. I'm going to borrow in the tens place, but when I go to the tens place, it's still 0. So now I'm going down to the hundreds place. This 1 is going to become a 0. This 0 will now become a 10. But when I take a step back and I look at my problem, I'm still stuck right here. I still don't have enough. So now I'm going back to the tens. I'm going to borrow. This now becomes a 9. This 0 becomes a 10. So now I have 10 minus 2 is going to give me 8. 9 minus 9 is 0. And then you have 0 minus 0. That's your imaginary 0. So your final answer is going to be 8. Let's try 900 minus 165. I'm going to try to subtract 0 minus 5. I can't do that. In the ones place, I'm going down to the tens place now. Still can't do that. I only have 0 here. So now I'm going to the hundreds place. So this 9, I have enough. This 9 is going to become an 8. This 0 here is going to become a 10. But when I look at my problem, I am still stuck here in the ones place. I still don't have enough. So I'm going back to the tens place. This 10 is going to become a 9. This 0 is going to become a 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. And then you have 8 minus 1. That's going to give you 7. So your final answer is 735. 490 minus 152. Let's start with the ones. 0 minus 2. Can't do that. I'm going to borrow from the tens place. This 9 is going to become an 8. This 0 is going to become a 10. So now you have 10 minus 2, that's 8. And then you have 8 minus 5, that's 3. And then you have 4 minus 1, that's going to give you 3. Final answer, 338. So let's try 800 minus 605. So 0 minus 5. I need to borrow. This 0 is too small. When I go down to my tens place, I still have 0. It's still too small. So I'm going to borrow from the hundreds place. This 8 is going to become a 7. This 0 in the middle is going to become a 10. But when I analyze my problem, I'm still stuck right here in the ones place. I'm still stuck here. I still don't have enough. So I'm going to continue borrowing. I'm going to borrow again from the tens place. This 10 will now become a 9. This 0 in the ones place will now become a 10. So you have 10 minus 5, this is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. And then you have 7 minus 6, that's going to give you 1. So your final answer is 195. Let's try this example here. 346 minus 299. Okay, so 6 minus 9, and all we're saying here in the ones place is pretty much you have 6 marbles and you're trying to remove 9 from the 6. We don't have enough, so I'm going to borrow. I don't have enough here. I'm going to borrow from the tens place. This 4 is going to become a 3. This 6 is now going to become a 16. So now you have 16 minus 9. That's going to give us 7. And then you have 3 minus 9. Uh-oh. I have 3 marbles in the tens place. I have 3 marbles and I'm trying to subtract 9. I don't have enough, right? So I'm going to go to the hundreds place now. I'm good. I'm okay here in the ones place. This is good. I already subtracted that. So I'm going to the hundreds place. This is going to become a 2. This 3 is now going to become a 13. So now you have 13 minus 9. That's going to give you 4. And then you have 2 minus 2, and that's going to be 0. So your final answer is 47. Let's try 4,001 minus 3,415. I'm going to try to subtract 1 minus 5, and I can't do that because this 1 is too small. So I'm going to the tens place. I have a 0. I can't do that. I can't borrow there. I'm going to the hundreds place. I still can't borrow. I need to go down to the thousands place. This 4 is now going to become a 3. This 0 here in the hundreds place is going to become a 10. But when I analyze my problem, I take a step back, I realize I still need numbers here and here. I still need to borrow because it's too small. So I'm going back to the hundreds place. This 10 is going to become a 9. This 0 here in the tens place is going to become a 10. When I take a step back and I analyze my problem, I am still stuck. I still don't have enough here for the ones place. So now I'm going to borrow in the tens place. That 10 is going to become a 9. This 1 here will now become an 11. Now I can subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 4 is 5. And then you have 3 minus 3 is 0. So your final answer is 586. Let's try 2008 minus, let's do 1314. So we have 8 minus 4. Awesome. I can subtract 8. I have 8 marbles and I need to subtract 4. If I subtract 4, I have 4 marbles left. So I'm going to write a 4 here. 8 minus 4 is 4. Then I go down to my tens place. 0 minus 1, I don't have enough. So I need to borrow from the hundreds place. And I still don't have enough because the 100 only has 0. There's not enough in there. So I'm going to borrow from the thousands place now. So now this 2 is going to become a 1. This 0 here is going to become a 10. Okay, but when I take a step back and I analyze my subtraction problem here, I already know my ones place is good. I don't have to worry about that. But I'm stuck right here in the tens place. I still have 0. I'm going to go back to my hundreds place and borrow. So this 10 is going to become a 9. This 0 here in the tens place is now going to become a 10. Now I can subtract. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. And then you have 1 minus 1. That's going to be 0. So your final answer is 694. Let's try this example here. We have 1,840 minus 687. Okay, I'm going to go 0 minus 7 in the ones place. I don't have enough. I'm going to borrow from the tens place. This 4 is going to become a 3. This 0 here is going to become a 10. Now I can subtract. So I have 10 minus 7. That's going to give me 3. 3 minus 8. Uh-oh. I have 3 marbles and I'm trying to remove 8. I do not have enough at all. So I have to borrow. I'm borrowing from the hundreds place. So now this 8 is going to become a 7. This 3 here is now going to become a 13 because I borrowed from the hundreds place. So now I'm going to subtract 13 minus 8. That's going to give us 5. And then we're going to subtract 7 minus 6 is 1. And then 1 minus your imaginary 0 is going to be 1. So your final answer is 1,153. 2,770 minus 699. Let's try to subtract 0 minus 9. I can't do that. In the ones place, I'm going to borrow from the tens place. So the 7 now is going to become a 6. This 0 in the ones place is now going to become a 10. So you have 10 minus 9, that's 1. 6 minus 9, uh-oh. You have 6 marbles and you're trying to remove 9, you don't have enough. So I'm going to the hundreds place now. This 7 is going to become a 6. And now this 6 here is going to become a 16. So 16 minus 9 is going to be 7. 6 minus 6 is 0. And then 2 minus your imaginary 0 here, that's going to be 2. So your final answer is 2,071. Let's try subtracting 7,000 minus 1,412. So first we're going to go to the ones place. 0 minus 2. I don't have enough, so I'm going to borrow in the tens place. 0 is still here, still don't have enough. And I'm going over to the hundreds place now. I still don't have enough, but I do have some numbers here in the thousands place that I can borrow. So I'm going to go, the 7 is now going to become a 6. This 0 here is now going to become a 10. But when I take a step back and I analyze the subtraction problem, I'm still stuck right here in the tens place. I don't have enough. So now this 10 is going to become a 9. This 0 here is now going to become a 10. Okay? I'm still stuck. When I take a step back, all these numbers are okay except the ones place here. I'm still stuck right there. So because I still have 0 in the ones place, I'm going to ask my 10 if I can borrow at least 1 from it. So this 10 is now going to become a 9. This 0 here is going to become a 10. So now I can subtract. I can finally subtract. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 4 is 5. And then 6 minus 1 is 5. So your final answer is 5,588. All right, let's try this example here. 8,007 minus 1,506. So first we have in the ones place 7 minus 6. I can definitely subtract that. So I'm going to do 7 minus 6. That's going to be 1. Okay. Then we have 0 minus 0. That's going to give me 0. That's perfect. I can definitely subtract that. And then when I go to the hundreds place, I have 0 minus 5. I can't do that, unfortunately. So I have to borrow from the thousands place. This 8 is going to become a 7. This 0 right here is going to become a 10. So now you have 10 minus 5, and that's 5. And then 7 minus 1, that's going to be 6. So your final answer is 6,501. All right, let's try one more example. 5,000 minus 2,987. I know I cannot subtract 0 from 7. I need to borrow from the tens place. But unfortunately, the tens place still has 0. I can't do that. I'm going down to the hundreds place. Hundreds still has 0. But I can see some numbers right here in the thousands place. So I'm going to borrow from this 5 here. This 5 is going to become a 4. This 0 here in the hundreds place is now going to become a 10. But when I take a step back and I analyze my problem, I'm still stuck right here and right here. So I'm going to ask my 100, hey, can I borrow? I'm going to borrow a 1 from here. This will become a 9. This 0 here in the tens place will become a 10. But I'm still running into issues. Unfortunately, I still can't subtract because I'm stuck right here in the ones place. I'm still stuck. So this 10 is now going to become a 9. This 0 here is going to become a 10. Now I can subtract. Okay, so I have 10 minus 7. That's going to give me 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. And then you have 4 minus 2. That's going to give you 2. So your final answer is 2013. So that's all we have for today, guys. And I will see you all in the next video. All right, bye, guys.